Hello, everybody. Really? Okay, hello, everybody. There you go. Hi, my name is, like they said, Echama Arlando Mba. I'm a Grizzly alum. Woo, woo, woo. I go to UCLA now, so I'm still a bear as my mascot, so. I'm taking you back to 2009. I'm 11 years old. Just imagine me just like yay tall. And it's a warm, sunny, beautiful California day on the playground at Victoria Girls Elementary School. And I'm talking with my friends on the grass, and I noticed that one of the girls, her hair is like in a ponytail, like she's just looking at me like this. And I'm just so confused, like, why is she looking at me like that? Like, what did I do? So I turn to her, and she looks at me, and she says, Echama, you're different. I'm just looking at her confused, like, okay, what do you mean that I'm different? Like, I've known you for years. Like, did I change? I know I didn't change. Like, I'm still the same person. So I ask her curiously, hey, what do you mean that I'm different? She looks at me and she says, smiling, well, you don't act like the other black kids. I'm just like, So this kind of raises a red flag in my head. I'm just thinking, what does she mean that I'm different than all the black kids? I think that I'm the same. I don't really feel any different. Like, I need you to give me like a breakdown, like a bit by bit breakdown. I need evidence. So I ask her, what makes me different from them? She's like, well, for starters, you actually do well in school. Like, I don't know if they do well, and like, you get straight A's, and you're in GATE, which is like gifted and talented education, which means you're really smart, and you're kind of quiet, and you don't ruffle feathers like they do, and you're really nice, and you just seem to go with the flow. This is me, in my mind I'm thinking, thank you? Like, I think she's giving me a compliment because she just sounds so nice about this. And she won't stop smiling, and her smiling is really freaking me out. But this is a really weird compliment. You know, compliments are supposed to make you feel good, but I don't feel good. I feel insulted, and I feel awkward, and I'm starting to feel really, really bad about myself. I don't know, am I not supposed to be those things? Is that what she's saying to me? But as I stay quiet, I see that she looks like she got epiphany, like she got like zapped by a lightning bolt from like up above. And she just looks super excited, and she just says to me, Echama, oh my God, I know what you are. And I'm like, really? Like, okay, like what am I? She's like, oh, that's so simple. You're an Oreo. I'm like, in my mind I'm just thinking, what the heck does she mean that I'm an Oreo? I look nothing like that cookie. Please. Like, what does that have to do with me being an Oreo? I think maybe she's just trying to be nice. But I don't know, that's just a weird way to tell someone that they're a sweet person. So, I don't know, maybe she's just on something I don't know about. So, I just look at her and I just say, hey, what do you mean that I'm an Oreo? She says, well, I don't know if anyone's ever told you this before, Echama, but, well, here it goes. You don't act black. You act white. Plus, you sound really white, by the way. An Oreo is a black person that acts white. See, like black on the outside, white cream filling on the inside. That's just what you are. And that's why I like you. And that's why we're friends. Huh? So that day and days afterwards, I just keep thinking to myself in my head, okay, am I an Oreo? Do I act white? Really? Because I never thought that I did. Does everyone think else that I'm an Oreo? Are they just nice and they just don't say it? I don't know. So a few days later, I asked my mom, and I say, hey, Mama, do you think that I act white? Do you think that I'm an Oreo? She just looked at me really weird, and she said, Arlando, no, you do not act white. You are not an Oreo. Did someone tell you that you're an Oreo? I just look at her, I'm like, no. I heard it on TV. It was Fresh Prince. It was something about Carlton, you know. She's just looking at me like, I don't think she actually believes me, but she just says, Arlando, honey, you're not an Oreo, okay? Whoever is saying that is wrong, okay? You do not act white, okay? You're just being yourself. I'm like, okay, Mama. Now in my mind I'm thinking, why did I go to my mom? She just always says all these nice things because that's her job, because she's my mom. But I think the sad thing is, as much as I want to believe my mom, I don't. And I end up believing my friend, the girl on the playground. You see, what I didn't really know until recently is that day on the playground was the first time that I ever got stereotyped. And also, it was the first time in my life that my self-perception of myself changed completely. And after that, not too long after, my self-esteem just went down. And not too long after that, I just remember family, friends, peers, and complete strangers telling me how I act white, that I'm an Oreo. And the funny thing now is that I'm in college, and I'm so happy that no one is telling me this. I'm like, woo-hoo! But the sad thing is that I'm the one telling this to myself in my head. It's like it's a broken record on a dusty gramophone, playing a bitter, sweet melody, playing over and over and over again. And up until that point, it never crosses my mind that my behavior, like being smart, being quiet, being nice, doing well in school, is considered acting white. I just think as an 11-year-old, I'm thinking, I'm a really curious person. Like, I love to learn about a lot of things. I'm thinking, okay, if I don't do well in school, my parents, knowing that they're from Cameroon, they're going to start giving me this rant about how, you have all these resources. Like, you should get nothing less than an A. You're in America, okay? Like, has any of you guys or parents given you that talk before? Like, you guys have so many resources, or you should have nothing less than an A? Right? Raise your hands. You know what I'm talking about. And also, I'm just thinking to myself, man, I'm a really shy person. I really don't like it when I get put on the spot because I feel awkward when people are looking at me and hearing me talk. And also, it never crosses my mind that being nice is acting white. I'm just thinking the golden rule, treat others the way you like to be treated. Like, if I want to be treated nice, I'll treat you nice. It's like, it's common courtesy 101, okay? You learn at home. But, I just take those three things about me, and for some reason, I just look at it and think of it, that's all that there is to me, and I start to see myself as a stereotype. I believe that our self-perception, the stories we keep telling ourselves in our head over and over again, can either hinder us from being the best version of ourselves, or it can help us believe in ourselves and help us see our own greatness. Basically, what you need to know is that our self-perception is basically something that we get from our interaction from the world around us. And when we are young, we just tend to believe everything that people tell us, and we just unconsciously believe them. And then the hard thing is that we believe the most negative things about ourselves. And when we keep telling ourselves this over and over again, we just start to see ourselves as, well, like me, less than. So, how do we dismantle our negative stories and self-perception about ourselves. First, we have to have a deep conscious look at who we are and gather evidence that either confirms or denies the personal belief system that we have put together for ourselves. Secondly, we have to realize that it is a choice to give in to other people's opinions about ourselves. And lastly, we need to let go of the past and forgive ourselves. But first things first, we gotta have a deep conscious look at who we are. So when I was talking to a friend about this moment, it actually hit me that for the longest time I was living in other people's opinions about me. And I never gave myself the chance to be myself. And at first, I do what everyone does when you just don't want to believe that it's true. I went into denial mode. But then when I look back, I just remember this moment that I had with my brother a few years back, and he just told me, hey, sis, I see the way that you have to act at school, and it must be tough for you. I don't know what it feels like, but I'm sorry that you have to do this so you don't feel awkward and you feel like no one hates you. Then thinking about that, I just had to start looking for evidence about myself that was positive. And when I did, I just realized, man, all those opinions that people said about me being an Oreo and acting white makes no sense. When I think back about why that word hurt so much, except it really sucked knowing that the person who told me this was a friend. And out of all the friends, she was the closest one. And it just made me wonder, did she ever see me as a full person this entire time? Was I just her token? And with that, I took that pain with me into every interaction, in every friendship that I had. And anytime I was talking with someone, in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, okay, do they like me for me, or do they like me because I'm what she said of me in the past? A token, an Oreo. And see, that's just for me, I look back, I'm just like, that's a horrible way to think of myself, because I was depriving myself of the joys in my life. And so when I forgave myself for that moment, for the person telling me, for all the times that I interacted with people and I did nothing, it was a big release. You see, everyone keeps telling you that forgiving is about forgiving the other person, but it's true. But you also have to forgive yourself. Because when you forgive yourself, you're giving yourself the permission and the freedom to let go of all the negativity you have towards that person or that situation. And man, it is very liberating. Knowing that I don't have to take that pain with me, knowing that I don't have to see myself in that way anymore, that to me is my own progress as a person. Because now when I think about the word, I think, man, I must have been a really strong girl to be able to tolerate all those people telling me those things all these years and still holding my head up high, because I must have believed that I am not going to see myself this way for the rest of my life and that this is temporary. And so for any of you guys out there who's seeing yourself in this negative light, just know that is not you. You are not that person at all. Know that I see you and I am with you when I tell you that your self-perception is always going to change. And that's a beautiful thing, because you can disregard what anyone tells you about yourself that you know that is not true. And I know for a fact if I wasn't called that word, I honestly would not be here today giving you this talk, and I wouldn't be who and where I am today. So, as you leave here today, I want you to ask yourself this. Am I living in my own opinion of myself based on what I believe to be true about myself, or am I living based on other people's opinions about me? If you're doing the first one, hey, congratulations. If you're in the second camp, hey, it's going to be okay. Because you don't have to hold yourself hostage to who you used to be or anything that you used to do, because Who hasn't lived and who hasn't learned? Oprah Winfrey. Oprah always has words of wisdom that always makes everything seem better, right? And so the one thing I hope that you take with you today is the only self-perception matters is yours. Now, you don't have to bring whatever happened in the past into the present, because trust me, you're not going to love your present. And your present has so much to give you. And also, if you're someone who's just willing and really wants to get rid of your negative self-perceptions, just know it's fun, but it's hard, because you're really having to look deep within yourself and really counteract everything that you used to believe. But I'm telling you, it is gratifying, and you will see how much strength and how much power you have inside of you, and that you have more than you can ever imagine. Thank you very much.